Hello and greetings to everyone. Habariyako. Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a minute. I want to come in and give you a little bit of more information about visiting or living or relocating to Kenya. We've been busy over the last few weeks with development at our Paradise Salai mission base. You may have seen some of the videos of our land being graded and roadways being put in, fences and gates. All of that is pretty much in place now. So now we're at the phase of preparing the land to be able to plant grass. And then we look at the next phase of starting to put in the first housing. We're also designing, that is, a small water feature on the property. And I'll be sharing some pictures with you of that in the next several weeks. So stay tuned. Thank you for all those who are partnered with us through your gifts, donations, and your prayers. And we look forward to hosting you as you visit the country of Kenya. We have a plan for a 14-day mission trip in December. Check out the information that I'll include in the description to this video. So there's a lot of great things happening. It's such a beautiful world we live in when you connect with the right people, because no matter where you are in the world, without real good social connections, your life can be miserable wherever you are, living in the lap of luxury or in the least of these areas. What really enhances a person's life is the quality of relationships that they have with people. And that's the same here in Kenya. Of course, we're building out in what we call a village area. If you're from America, we would call it living out in a rural or country area where we have established great relationships with the people. There's a community organization where everybody contributes to help with infrastructure, people who may be going through bereavement or people who may fall on hard times. The community comes together to support one another emotionally, spiritually, financially, materially. There's a lot of farming in this particular area that we're moving to as well. And so whether you're looking at moving to here in Kenya, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, or Nakuru, or a rural area, those are the 5 areas that I generally speak of. There are also other smaller towns like Kitale and Kisii as well that you can look at relocating to, but these are some of the more popular cities across Kenya. Now, I've elected to live in Nakuru, as I mentioned to you in previous videos, and we're building our home base and our mission base in Salai. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about building in the village, construction. So we started our first small building project, which is the construction of our gate wall. And I'll put a picture on the screen for you to show the process of that being constructed, and it's at the final stages now where it's being cured, and then we'll be going into painting of that. But just like in America, when you're doing any type of building project, construction and such, you're going to run into challenges. But so we were in the village and we were getting estimates, and estimates don't work like they do here as they do in America. You can call a contractor, they'll come by and give you a quote. They don't have any real expectation that the job is theirs just because they gave you a quote. But I find out here that when you ask someone for a quote, they're pretty much thinking that you're going to give them the job. So you have to know how to navigate that and communicate clearly with those that, hey, this is just an estimate. I want to get an idea of what it may cost, and that you want to compare costs, not just basing it on the lowest price, but basing it on the quality of work. If they have examples of the buildings or projects that they have done before, you want to be able to see pictures or videos of that to know the quality of the work. One thing I heard when I got here a lot was that cheap is expensive, meaning that you get something done cheaply, you probably have to get it done 2 or 3 times, and it's going to come out more expensive than if you had to pay a reasonable price for it to begin with. And that may, in fact, be true. But we were fortunate, by the grace of God, when we visited the village several times. We met many of the locals, and locals connected us to other locals who had different skill sets. And so we were able to find our caretaker who's caretaking the property for us. He handles all of the grounds, maintenance, upkeep of the property. He handles anything that we need in the village, in the town center. He coordinates all these different projects and supplies that we need. And this is why I tell you it's so important to have these beautiful local connections, real sense of community and relationships with people. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier here in Kenya, and I would suspect in any other country. It's great to have communication with other expats. There are many other Americans that live in Kenya, Black Americans, white Americans, Italian Americans, just American mindset people, Western minded people. But out in the villages, you'll find less and less and less of that. The further you get away from the big cities of Nairobi, Mombasa, you're going to find that people mostly speak Swahili. Some still know English. They can communicate in English well, and most people have a basic working knowledge of English language. But for the most part, they feel most comfortable speaking Swahili in general. And depending on what tribe or region of the country they're from, they feel most comfortable speaking in their native mother tongue. And that's the case in the village where we're located at. They speak their mother tongue more than any other language, because there's not any reason not to, because there's not a lot of tourists. You don't have a lot of interaction with foreigners there. And so you're communicating with people from your own ethnicity or tribal areas. So they speak their mother tongue. So I'm learning a little bit of the mother tongue in the area where I'm building the base. I'm also learning a working knowledge of Swahili. And then, of course, for those who speak English, we can communicate fairly well, but you must be able to slow down your English when you're speaking to people in English, because I've encountered many people who I ask, could they speak or do they understand English? And they say yes, but once I begin speaking with my normal tone, as I'm doing now, they get lost in the conversation. So they switch back to Swahili. Thankfully, I'm married to a Kenyan lady who understands the languages, and that has been a big advantage for me here in Kenya, and it will be the same for you. So those of you who are relocating, always emphasize with you that it's very important to have local connections, trusted partners on the ground that you can work with. If you're looking to relocate to Kenya or visiting Kenya, I'll be more than happy to connect you with some of the people that I know, which are my family now. My daughter lives in Nairobi. My wife and I live here in Nakuru. I have a brother-in-law who also lives in Nairobi area. He's actually a tour guide for one of the tour companies. He does a lot of safaris. He knows the country very well. And so I can put you in communication with them, and they can help you navigate some of the things that you may have questions about that I cannot directly answer. So, yeah. But building in the village, materially, you find that the labor costs are very inexpensive. I think we had a 12-foot long, about 10-foot high wall, I think 24 feet length total, 10-foot high. The labor and cost us around 15,000. Even for the supplies, everything was 15,000 shillings, that is. I'll have to do the conversion. I'll put that on the screen when I edit this message. So he's also given us the estimate on our building projects, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 75 square meters home. He gave us a quote of that of 750,000, and our 1-bedroom, 1-bath guest cottages, 45 square meters, I believe it is. He gave us a quote of 450,000. Again, I'll put these. This is in Kenyan shillings. I'll put these in conversion to USD as I edit this video. But that's very reasonable. Basically, we can get a 2-bedroom house built for around a little over 7,000 US dollars, roughly 7,000 to 8,000. A 1-bedroom for around 4,000 to 5,000 USD. We are, as I told you in a previous video, we purchased acreage there. We purchased about 10 different lots, and it came out to roughly around 15,000 or so USD for a little over an acre of land. And so that gives you a little idea. If you got a specific building project or area that you're looking to build, contact me. I'll try to research information, or I can point you in the direction where you can find the information you're looking for. So again, that touches a little bit on building or construction in the area. I find Kenyans to be very innovative, very hardworking people. They do more with their hands here than we do in America because we have machines and technology to aid us in doing things. But Kenyans do it by manual labor, handwork, teamwork. And so as we were building our pond area out, our caretaker called and he says, how many people do you want to hire to come and do this? And they bring their manual tools, their shovels, their hoes, their rakes. And so as a team, they can clear an area of land for you because they're used to farming primarily in this area. We'll be having a small garden on our property. They call gardens or farms shambas, where they grow various things. And we're going to be able to grow, from what the neighbors tell me, watermelon, oranges, bananas, papaya, mango. We're really looking forward to growing, and also watermelon, which is one of my favorite. They grow potatoes, tomatoes. The area where we're at in the Mission Base is a very fertile area in the Rift Valley where you can grow almost anything. The climate is mild all year round. So that's another exciting thing, that you're able to grow your own food here and sustain your life. They raise lots of cattle, of goat, sheep, of course, beef with cows, lots of herds of these animals in the area. It's a part of the economic climate of this country. So you'll find good natural living here in Kenya. So that touches on building in the community. Second thing I want to talk about was community. And I think I've already touched on it. That is so vitally important. This is true no matter where you are in the world. In America, a lot of people have everything they think they need, except for community. Close-knit relationships, healthy relationships with people, social relationships where people actually invest in each other's lives, emotionally, spiritually, financially, materially. You'll find that a lot in the places outside of the big cities. The big city of Nairobi, which is the capital city, is pretty much like America. Everybody's doing their own thing, going their own direction, the hustle and bustle, chasing commerce, chasing money. But they're not really chasing relationships. You have all the nice restaurants. If you're into the nightclub scene, you have museums, you have a lot of things. But what you have to have, and I stress this a lot, you need to establish real community with people, both locals as well as maybe other expats, people from other countries. They got many Europeans here, got people from India. The Chinese are big here. And usually those communities stay within their communities, just like it does in America. You have Chinese communities, you have Indian communities, you have Italian communities, you have Hispanic communities in America. And a lot of the foreign nationals here, they form their own communities. But the Kenyans, except many other neighboring country people, they have Somalis, they have Ethiopians, people from Tanzania, Uganda, are in this country as well, some as refugees. So I find Kenya to be a very welcoming, inviting country. But I want to stress, don't move halfway around the world to live in your apartment alone like you do in America. If you're from America, you know what I mean. A lot of people are very isolated there. And most of the relationships are kind of superficial, even those within quote unquote church. You may see people at your church service on Sunday, but you don't see them any other time. So I find that people really need connection. That's one of the big things that we're doing here, striving to do, is create community both in the local as well as those who are foreign nationals, to connect with one another in a real deep, authentic way. So next thing is business. We've invested in several businesses since we've been here. A cafe, which serves Kenyan snacks, a nail spa, also a business development center. We have an event space that we rent out for parties, business meetings, and things and such in Nakuru. And we've been able to employ 6 Kenyans who were unemployed at the time we met them. And I was also introduced to the possibility of doing farming, because farming is big all across Kenya, particularly in the area where we're building our mission base. So one of the muzees, that they call that an elderly man, a muzee, he farms, he herds cattle, sheep, goat, cows. He asked us about possibility of leasing some land to do farming. You can lease an acre of land for like 7,000 shillings, which is about 57 USD a year. And you can pay people roughly 300 shillings a day to work the farm for you. That's about $27 a day or less. I won't want to make a mistake. I'll put that on the screen when I edit this video. But a lot of laborers are available for you. They know farming. They know all about what grows best. They know how to harvest it. And you can make roughly with an acre of land, say watermelon and maybe Irish potatoes, you can make up to about 250,000 Kenyan shillings a year with a successful harvest and planting season. I'll put that translation on the screen. So there's opportunities for you to get involved in agribusiness here very easily. You can at least make enough money to pay for your trips here or your vacations here or your stay here. And also the real benefit that I love is that you're putting people to work. You're not only supplying food for yourself, you're supplying food for the community, local community, as well as a good, stable food for the larger community in the areas you live and across Kenya. So you may want to look into that. You want more specific information, contact me. We'll try to help you to find out the information you need to explore that more in depth. But that goes back again to having the right relationships with the local people who know the area, who know the crop, who know the laborers. They know the history of the land, and they will really be one of your most valuable resources in Kenya is the relationships you have with local people. So those of you who are interested in visiting Kenya, of course, I've talked about this many times, that you can easily apply for a 90-day ETA, electronic travel authorization. Some people refer to it as a visa to come to Kenya. It's a simple process. It's all online. It takes about 3 days for it to get approved. It's about 30 to 60 USD to apply for that. We also have a mission trip that I mentioned to you earlier from December 1st to December 15th, where we're going to be doing trips across 3 cities in Kenya. And of course, starting with Nairobi. Then we're going to visit the coast of Mombasa. Then we're going to visit Nakuru and also visit our village mission base in Salai. There are lots of natural attractions. There'll be safari trips. There'll be outreach, community outreach. There'll be times for cultural immersion with local Kenyans. You visit our business plaza, sit and have lunch with locals, interact with our team members who are all Kenyans from all across different parts of Kenya. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us at Affordable African Horizons. We'll get you all the information you need about that. The pricing, I think the 14-day trip is all inclusive, including your airfare from the U.S. to Kenya, 14 days, accommodations, 3 meals a day, safaris and trips. I think it comes out to about 3,500 US for that 14-day trip. So you want to try to do that. Get more information from us. If you want to visit any other time of year, you're free to reach out to us and see our availability, because I travel back and forth between here in the U.S. and other neighboring countries here in East Africa and other parts of the world. But if you're looking at visiting Kenya any time of year, reach out to me and we'll try to arrange to be available for you. Okay, those are some of the things I want to touch on today. Again, explore your African horizons. Explore all of your horizons, not just Africa. But Africa may be one of the places that you've been curious about. Just, hey, I always wanted to visit what we call the motherland or visit Africa. Then this may be the great opportunity for you. Like I said, it's important to get the right people, connections on the continent. And if you feel like this may be something you're interested in, I'll look forward to speaking more with you about it. But in the meantime, I pray that you're blessed and that you live your best life. Ciao.